this video, we'll be looking at creating a structural column family. Now, some of the concepts that we'll be talking about today do apply to general families. So I'm going to go and create a new family. I'm going to choose a structural column family and hit open. So typically when you start a new family, it'll open up into the ref level view. Some family templates do open up to multiple views, such as a plan, elevation, section, and 3D view by default. So this one's opening up to just the ref level. Now, let's say that I wanted to make a sort of long column here. I'm going to start with an extrusion. I'm going to use the pick line tool and I'm going to lock it. I'm going to select my reference planes and then I'm going to trim them. And you can see that the padlock is locked, meaning that when I hit done on this and I move these reference planes up and down, the geometry is going to move with it. Now let's look at this in elevation view as well. You can see there's an upper level. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I drag that up and lock it there so that this happens to move down. That geometry is going to move down with it. Now I don't see anything in particular that's controlling the width. Now this is a out of the box template, so I want to make sure that there are no other constraints. Looks like there are not. I'm going to draw a dimension here. I'm going to select that dimension and I'm going to check if there are any parameters available to select. There's not, so I'm going to make a new one. Let's call this one width. I'm going to leave it as type, and then I'm going to draw another dimension along the other side. I'm going to call this one, that could also be width 1, width 2, you know, it's just a name. So now you can see here that if I were to set this one to, for example, 1 foot, and then make it longer, say 5, the geometry is going to follow with it. Now, before I load this into a project, I want to make sure that I can control the material. So I'm going to select family, geometry, go here to the properties, look at material, apply structural material, and then if I go into the family types, you can see that this here is an instance parameter. Now I'm going to move this to be a type parameter. It's just easier to manage than if it's instance based. I'm going to hit OK here. Then I'm going to take this, and you should name your families always. So give it a save, structural column, hit save, and let's load that into the project. I'm going to measure this in height so it doesn't go down below what I'm looking. See here, if I put these side by side, they are joining nicely. I can also use the join tool here and get rid of those lines. Now those lines only go away if the two families have the same exact material. Otherwise you'll see a thin line. Now let's say that we want a different shaped column. So I'm going to rework this family and save as. Go ahead and make this thickness. We're going to add another reference plane on the side here. Mention this, all that, same thing, thickness. And then we're gonna unpin this so that it's flexible. I'm gonna add another reference plane somewhere in here. I'm gonna mention this right here. We're gonna call this one width 1, and then we're gonna call this one width 2. Let's say I make that 5 and 5. Now I'm gonna edit my extrusion here to also include this section, trim some of these, done on that. So you can see here, if I were to adjust width 2, just let's say 2 feet. If I adjust this one here, let's say 3, that's going to shift that way. Now I didn't like what just happened. The whole thing just kind of shifted on me. I potentially want these to grow from one direction so that they're not shifting in plan when I place them. So in order to do that, what I'll do is, you saw how I unpin this one. I'm going to go ahead and unpin this one as well. I'm going to pin the front in this case, and then I'm going to pin this one here on the right. What that means, or what it should mean, is that if I, let's say, adjust the width here to say 4 feet, right? Nothing shifted. Everything moved to this corner because those two are pinned. Now, what I might also do is, because when I'm placing these, I'm potentially placing them based on a grid line. I'm gonna find the center of this side. This one's already here, right? That's gonna be one origin, and then this one is gonna be other origin, which means where those two reference planes meet, that's gonna be the placement point of my family. So let me just make sure that I draw an EQ dimension here. All right, let's load that in. Got to rename it. Let's hit escape there. Let's do a file, save as, family. And then let's call this one L, and let's load it and close it. So you can see here, I've placed these two side by side. I can eliminate the joins there. I can take this one, say I create another one, place it on the other side. Let's say I want to go to that line as well. I'll just join the two. And that is a simple structural column and L-shaped column. Like, comment, and subscribe.